But Larry Pinkney, a founding member of the original Black Panthers, not the new George Soros-funded KKK-style group, but the original one, Larry Pinkney joins us. Again, the book, Saying No to Power. Thanks for coming on with us.
Well, thank you, my brother. First and foremost, I want to begin by saying I want to send my love and my strength to a number of people with Infowars. That's Darren McGreen, David Knight, Roger Stone, Alejandra, and of course the entire Infowars crew. Our job is very, very difficult. Our job calls for us to, how shall I put this, have an intensified dedication to the liberation of all of our people, black, white, brown, red, and yellow. And I want to make something perfectly clear, crystal clear, as Stokely Carmichael used to say, crystal clear, all right, that we are not dealing with anti-fascists, all right? We are dealing with neoliberal fascists. They are neoliberal fascists. Stop accepting the narrative of these neoliberal fascists. The Soros, Obama, Clinton machine, plus the deep state. What are they about? They are ahistorical, non-critically thinking lunatics controlled by the Soros, Obama, Clinton machine and the deep state. And what is their objective? Their objective is to revise history in their own image and ultimately to destroy our nation. I say no to that. Our nation has many problems, but it is our nation, our nation. And that is what we meant in the original Black Panther Party when we said all power to the people, be they black, white, brown, red, or yellow. Do not succumb to the neoliberal fascists. My brother, I'm sorry, I got a little carried away.
No, please do it, because I'll jump in any time. This is riveting truth. In fact, the establishment calls themselves neoliberal. You're using the real term they use in political science that I've not even heard in years. I'm glad you brought that up. Explain what neoliberal is, and they've got an admitted plan.
Right. Neoliberalism is essentially, and I'm going to be very blunt, is essentially an ideology, or what I call an idiotology, an ideology that says we are going to push a certain narrative that says we're open and free, when in point of fact, it's just the opposite. They are not quote-unquote liberals. They are neoliberals. They are, and what do I mean? New liberals in the sense that what they want to do is to control the narrative of all people, black, white, brown,
that's
red,
right. They're getting rid of, exactly. Martin Luther King is the anti-neoliberal, and that's why he got killed. He wouldn't, because he said it's off what you do, what you stand for, who you are, true individualism. Well, no. They want to control language. They want to divide everybody. It's a scientific plan.
Right. And you know, let me be blunt about some things. One, many of us, including myself, by the way, did not support George W. Bush or Barack Obama. But we did not call for either of them to be assassinated. Think about that. But here we are in the 21st century, in the year 2017, and they're calling for the chief executive, whether you like him or not, to be assassinated. This is manipulated, deep state manipulated insanity. That's why I
exactly. How can people claim they're anti-establishment when the entire power structure wants Trump dead only because he's just simply doing what he wants to do? Whether he's good or bad, he really is the president right now. And unfortunately, let's skip this one break, but no more today. Unfortunately, though, it looks like he's starting to cave to the pressure, and I can't blame him, but man, this is crazy.
But whether he caves to the pressure or not, I hope he doesn't, but if he does, we the people, black, white, brown, red, and yellow, we the people will not cave to the pressure.
That's right.
The vomit stream media, and I repeat, vomit stream media, they are liars. They have been liars since as long as I've been alive. I remember them lying in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, and they're lying even more. And then they talk about Boston. Boston? the most racist cities in this country, Boston, Philadelphia, New York, three of the most insidiously racist and actively racist cities in this nation. In this nation. Not the South, the North. All right? Let's get real, brothers and sisters. Let's understand what time it really is. That's all I have to say, my brother. That's what.
Well, did you know that Robert E. Lee was more popular in the North after the Civil War than he was in the South? And I don't want to get into the stereotypes, but they're usually there because part of it's true. I never heard racist talk until I traveled to the North, and I'm not bashing great folks in the North. It's just that it was like an embarrassment, racism in the South, and like the whole Christian ethos was, you know, we've been bad, we can't be bad. And the liberals have hijacked that to then guilt folks to go along with their agenda because people are actually listening a lot of times in the South, though there is some racism here. Obviously, it's bad. It's tribalism, you know, divide and conquer. But when I found to the North, all the sides have been turned into racist against each other as a tool of control, and it's so obvious and it's so idiotic. And the Democratic Party acts like Donald Trump or myself or somebody are behind these Confederate statues. Those statues are Democrats. And all I'm saying is I hate the Republican establishment as well. It's just nothing is what they say it is.
The key word is establishment. The key word is establishment. That's why the White House, whether you like it or not, is hated. Who is it hated by? The establishment. Who are trying to take the White House down? The establishment. I'm not saying that Trump is this great whatever.
Sure, but you can't exactly. But you cannot ignore the reality that the evil establishment that's murdered millions and is putting the stuff in the vaccines and dumbing everybody down, that they literally are acting like Trump is the devil. Oh, well, why do they hate him so much? Well, he got out of TPP that they'd set up outside of law bipartisanly. He's getting out of the carbon tax that's meant to make us poor. He's doing all these things they hate.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? How come we never hear about Robert W. Byrd? Huh? That Democrat, that Hillary. No, I didn't say Hillary. I said Hillary Clinton. You know, that same Hillary Clinton who called black people super predators. Oh, yes. Wake up, people. Wake up, my brothers and sisters. Be you black, white, brown, red, or yellow. Wake up. Do not be duped by this insidious, and I do mean insidious effort by the deep state, by the Democratic Party and establishment Republicans to destroy every decent ideal that this country has stood for.
Let me ask you this then, Larry Pinkney, again, founding member of the original Black Panther Party, who, again, the media misrepresented what they said, what they did, just like they do to me. They say I'm calling for violence. I'm calling for the opposite. But they say I'm trying to organize a revolution violently. They're the ones trying to organize one in the government, these corrupt elements. Larry, big picture, because I've been asking the questions here, but big picture, how do you think it's going globally? Where do you see things going in the future? What's your gut tell you about where we are as a society?
My gut tells me that where we are as a society, is we are at a very definitive moment, historically speaking. We are at a crossroads. We will either allow ourselves to be duped and taken in, just like so many people, including black people, have been taken in by the so-called Democrats. You know, that party that Brother Malcolm called Dixiecrats, the racists, the ones who are responsible for putting in and praising people like Robert Byrd. Who was U.S. Senator Robert Byrd? He was not only a Klan member and loved by Hillary, he was a Klan recruiter. Come on, stop it, people. We need to wake up. Now, globally, I see people, oh my God, they are waking up all over the country, all over the world, I should say.
So people are waking up to globalism, undoubtedly.
Yes. But in this country, we need to link it all together and understand that the name of their game is to divide us against each other. You know, they talk about fascism. They are the fascists. The Soros, Obama, Clinton machine and the deep state, they are the fascists.
And Larry, I totally agree with you, but let's say back in the 60s or 70s when attacks on blacks were at record high levels, still, even if you're not anti-white, if you're going into a racist white area, you've got to know there are people that want to come after you. What do we do then when the left then hypes up white Antifa attacking white folks, and they get black folks to go out? The new Black Panther Party says, don't rob in your neighborhood, go kill a white person. Then that starts happening, and then white people that have never been racist start going, well, what do we do? What do we do? And then I don't even know what to do because I know it's all a plan to control us. What do? You
defend yourselves. Be you black, white, brown, red, or yellow. To black people, my brothers and sisters, to white people, brown people, red people, yellow people. Defend yourselves, not only physically, but psychologically. Don't go for the ghost. Don't go for the ghost. In other words, don't be fooled again. Like The Who, the song by The Who. Don't be fooled again, okay? And don't let them play us off. Any differences that we have, we can work out and will damn well work out for ourselves. For ourselves. We don't need the deep state, the government, you dig it? We don't need the Soros.
And Larry Pinkney, I've talked to all the big insiders that are patriots. They say that's it. They said, listen, the establishment's there. They're not even a party. They're in control for at least 100 years. Kennedy's problem was he tried to actually be president, and he wasn't perfect either. He had problems. Lord did he. But the point is he actually tried to be president, tried to cut taxes, tried to have real civil rights, and they didn't want that, so they killed him, just like they killed Martin Luther King and Robert Kennedy and all the rest of it. And so it's the same thing again, and it's so incredibly obvious that they're just doing it again.
Right, and we must not let them get away this time. This time must be different. This is the 21st century. This time must be different. My brother, we must not, none of us, black, white, brown, red, or yellow, we must not let them get away with it. We are not fooled. We may not have PhDs, but that's probably why we're not fooled. You understand? We must not let them get away with it. I say all power to the people.
All right, stay there, right. Absolutely. Larry Pinkney is our guest, blackactivistwg.org, the book. Saying no to power. Everybody should get it. Even if you're already awake, it's a great book to get to give to somebody else or donate to your library so you can reach hundreds of people. I'm going to come back and bring up to him what happened to me in Seattle. I mean, I couldn't even go on the street now. Had a guy actually want to run me over. It was just, these people are crazy. Coming up, Jack Masobu's going to join us, and hopefully Mr. Pinkney can ride shotgun a little bit. I got to be honest. Having hundreds of people run up and say, F you, Nazi, didn't upset me in the way they thought. They thought it was a shunning process, a peer pressure process, because I guess that's what they're basically based in, is a bunch of follower mentality stuff. But it's a fact. I don't say this to virtue signal. It was about 98% white people, white men that would say, F you, racist, Nazi, threatened to physically attack me, throw coffee in my face. And then I had 4 or 5 black guys come over and were like, blah, blah, blah. I mean, are you really into this bad stuff? And I explained no. And then I'd explain a few things that actually listened to me. I don't know what it says about the psychology. Then they'd nod their head and walk off. I'd have women come over and act like they were nice. Then go, I hate you. You're scum. Like trying to hurt me. All because they've seen this stuff on the news. Tom Brokaw saying I'm deeply racist. And it doesn't hurt me in the way they think it does. It hurts me that our national news is so controlled. And then, like I said, Mike Zimmerman last night, because we had combined our hotel rooms together with my wife and one of my children we took on the trip and the rest of it, and the nanny, we're all in one room, waiting to go to the airport about 6 o'clock, and we weren't going to leave till 8. And I said, I'm going to go eat. And he said, man, don't do it. I said, listen, it's a free country, I'm going to do it. I go out there, and a guy basically acts like or tries to run me over with his Range Rover, then rolls his window down and starts saying, F you, Nazi, another white guy. And at that point, I just said, man, you're a coward. Why don't you get out of the car? And I'm not looking for trouble, but I mean, that guy that got out of that car, man, he already tried to hit me with his car. I mean, these people are nuts. They're in a real world, but they say it and run off. What does that say about their mentality from all the experiences you've been through, all the murders you witnessed against you guys when you were, trying to get your message out? I mean, it's just things are so volatile now.
Well, what it says to me is they don't have a mentality, Brother Alex. Come on, brother. They don't have a mentality. Essentially, what these people are, and I'll say it again, are ahistorical, non-critically thinking lunatics. Okay? Let's be honest.
Well, then why are 97% of them white males? Because I don't want to get into white male bashing, but the people saying F you white male are white guys.
You know why? Because they are personally insecure. You dig? Come on, let's be real. They're personally insecure, and whatever they were trying to get, they didn't get, so they figured, oh, if I switch and I become this supposedly anti-fascist, you hear me? Anti-fascist, okay? Maybe I can feel secure with myself. Excuse me? No, that's not reality. That's what people do. I often ask myself, how can white people, all right, or non-black people, be they white or turquoise, sit back and say only Black Lives Matter, or, quote, Black Lives Matter, all right? I go, my God, how can they negate their own humanity that way? Why don't they say that every life is precious and that when we lose one, we lose all? You know, I myself ask questions to myself, all right? But it's a game. It's the game being played by that machine, by that Soros, Obama, Clinton machine. Obama, by the way, is the biggest betrayer in the 21st century of all people, not just black people, but of all people, okay? And, you know, the time will come for him to pay the
Larry Pinkney, this is a short segment. I want to come back and in the longer segment, spend some time with you on the legacy of Obama, who I feel like an idiot. I was kind of neutral between him and McCain, and I thought maybe we'll bring folks together. I was so naive. But then you expand on that, the cold-blooded betrayal of that. Like you said, when you dehumanize other groups, then you dehumanize yourself.
Exactly.
But then you can't buy the neoliberal thing of saying, I'm going to do whatever the media says to prove I'm not racist, and then you're just following along their whole political agenda. So let's talk about that with Larry Pinkney. Jack Posobiec's going to be popping in as well. And we have this compilation of some of the Democrat liberals telling me that they hate me or want to kill me. What's happening with the eclipse. Haven't had one of these over North America since 1776. So we've got the Science Channel up there for you, and obviously we'll have replays of all this. Just reminds us how huge our universe is that we're here in the middle of. But finishing up with Larry Pinkney. Larry Pinkney, just talking about Barack Obama, your former, one of the founders of the Black Panther Party, and then to see everything that Martin Luther King and yourself and so many others actually promoted, which I agree with, judge people on the content of their character, their deeds, not the color of their skin, where our children can, in the future live together and, come together and share all our great gifts together. Now, they're taking Martin Luther King statues down and murals down at universities because he didn't mention trannies. Well, I don't dislike trannies. I'm not. The point is that wasn't even an issue then. It's this war on if they can take down Martin Luther King, that's a big mount to put on their wall. What you said earlier, it's about them controlling everything, the future, the past, the present. It's 1984. It's the model of absolute, total, and complete annihilation of information. It's about being the priest of power, the priest of information.
That's right. That's right. And the reality is that these neoliberal fascists, let's be honest, they hate Dr. King. They hate Malcolm. They hate Viola Liuzzo. And if you don't know who Viola Liuzzo was, she was a white woman who was murdered by, she was assassinated, murdered, shot in the face by KKK government agent, all right? They hate these people. They are, and I keep emphasizing this, they are the neoliberal fascists. That's why they hate Dr. King, they hate Malcolm, they hate Viola Liuzzo, all right? And if anyone is sort of wondering, like, okay, what's Larry talking about? Look, read Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. His latest article, I'm trying to remember what it was, but I tend to speak off the top of my own
We can pull
brain.
it up right now.
Yeah. His latest article by Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. I mean, oh my God, incredible. Incredible. You want to know what's going on? Read Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, among others. So all I can say is that, you know, these neoliberal fascists, it's gotten to a point where it is totally insane. Antifa, give me a break. They are the fascists. They are just as fascist as the Ku Klux Klan. And let's be honest, the everyday ordinary black, white, brown, red, and yellow people just want to survive and have everyday bread and butter issues to take care of themselves and their families. And there is nothing wrong with that.
And that's Trump's goal. That Trump is all about power back to the people and making people independent. And if you want to get into real affirmative action, it's come out. He's gone to those communities. He's told those companies. He's twisted arms. He said, you're going to move them right in the middle of these inner cities. You're going to get the incentives. You're going to move them from China. You're going to move them from India. You're going to move. And it started. It's happening because Trump understands that the engineers want us poor. They don't want us to be self-sufficient.
That's right. That's right. They want us poor. Wake up, people. They want us poor. They want us divided. They want us fighting each other. And that's what these neoliberal fascists are all about as well, along with the deep state, Soros, Obama, Clinton, and Kabul.
Well, Larry Pinkney, we are launching a new weekly lineup of shows. I'd like to try to have you host one. We're also launch David Knight's new program, a new broadcast weekday mornings, 8 to 11 a.m. Central, that's titled Real News. We're launching The War Room with Roger Stone, and, of course, we've got Mike Cernovich and Owen Schroyer, but I would like to really have you as a contributor just regularly. There's so many great guests that you get them on, a year passes by, you forget how great they are. So we've got a big whiteboard in there now with all the great guest names written on it. And yours up, you know, it's right up there at the top so that we don't forget, because you know how years go by like seconds now. Larry Pinkney, thank you so much for all your knowledge. Look forward to speaking to you again very soon.
Thank you, brother. Stay strong. All power to the people. Thank you very much.
Thank you.